Hi guys, so you may have seen my video a few weeks ago where I painted all the Viking Warband, and these are via Victrix, and obviously I've got these to play the game Pillage, which again is by Victrix. I'll leave links down below where you can get obviously more information about the game and all the all the other warbands that go with it. So as I say, I've got the Viking ones painted, but to have a proper sort of game, you only need two warbands. Although I guess you could have a bit of Viking on Viking action, as I'm sure they probably did, obviously, a bit of in-house fighting quite a lot. But yeah, so I am going to paint up the Saxons in this video. And yeah, awesome looking miniatures, obviously paint really well. So in these war bands with the Vikings, there was 36 miniatures. And I painted all 36 miniatures in that video in one hit. And I did a big sort of like batch kind of paint. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today with the Saxon Warband. There's 32 figures in this one. There's a few less, but that's because, well, there's some horses in this one, which is pretty cool. So they come in big bags like this. But the price, guys, the price for these, it's as cheap as chips. 32 miniatures. I'm not going to put the price on here because it may differ and change on where you get it. But we're talking not much more or different from £1 a figure, which is insane because you get some companies, you could spend the same amount of money and probably get about six, about six miniatures, or let's say between 6 and 12. Let's be generous. But yeah, so quality is amazing as well on these. Lots of variety in the design. Obviously, they come, so you put them together, which is great because it means you can make them look and feel how you want. Especially some of the guys with the swords and the shields. It really is down to you to sort of try and get that epic pose, or the pose where they're just sort of standing, waiting for something to happen. Either way, yeah, it's down to you to sort of put it all together. I will apologise now again, guys. I am still getting over a cold. My throat is a little bit itchy and dry, and I'm not sure if I'm sounding quite how I normally do, but nevertheless, we'll carry on. So each one, yeah, so it comes with a little, obviously, guide to sort of show you how to sort of put them together. To be honest, I did this with the Vikings. With this one, I'm just going to wing it. So I literally cut the bits off. Because I have a great thing with this, you don't have to make them exactly how they've sort of recommended. You can do a bit of mixing and matching to get, well, whatever it is you want. Plus, when you play this game, you might find you might want more soldiers with pole arms, or more with shields, or less with shields. So yeah, so that's when I did the Vikings, I did pretty much a bit of everything. Whereas now I know what kind of war bands I want. It's easier to sort of like work it out ahead of time. That being said, with the Vikings, I have done a lot of mixing and matching. So even though I painted them all up, glued them together, and all the rest of it, I still did take some apart and change some of the weapons out, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I don't think I've ever painted a horse before. Um, Seems a bit strange because I've had this channel now 5 years or over 5 years. Painted a ton of miniatures, ranging from obviously sci-fi stuff to a lot of sort of D&D fantasy. But yeah, horses. I'm not too sure if I painted any of these, so this is going to be a nice little treat. Well, for me anyway, for something different. So as always with these kind of things, yeah, it isn't a case of going around, cutting them out, using some good clippers. The plastic is soft enough, so it's not like you've got to put much pressure on. These things come off nice and easy. And then obviously using cement glue is the preferred thing for this. So I've got this, the GSW one. Normally get clear, but I do a blue one. And the reason for the blue one is so, well, you can see exactly where you put the glue, because obviously the clear one, well, in the name, it's clear, so you can't always see it. So how this obviously works, the cement glue, it kind of dissolves the plastic a little bit, which helps sort of join one bit to the other. So that's why the more you sort of push, the better, stronger it's going to be. Plus, you can almost try and get rid of any join lines, any gaps. So as well as needing some cutters, you'll also need sort of, well, a scalpel, or maybe even just a bit of emery cloth or sanded paper of some description, just to clean up any sort of mold lines that may have been on the miniature, as well as obviously any areas you've sort of glued together. This is a great way of trying to sort of smooth them out, because the last thing you want to do is when you come to painting things like this, any little imperfections like these, you'll notice them. You'll notice them a lot. So it's obviously worth spending a few minutes now, just sort of cleaning up the miniature. Not that they need much, but just to make it a lot nicer. So when it does come to painting, yeah, you can't see any of the join lines, or when you do sort of cut the thing from the sprue, sometimes they leave little nibbly knobbly bits which need cleaning. So the other thing I quite often do with the cement glue, as you can see here, just sort of going over the top, almost like I'm painting over the top. Again, because this stuff dissolves the plastic, doing a little bit over the top, again, just helps merge the two halves of this horse together. So yeah, when you come to paint it, it'll look like it was one sort of solid unit, which is pretty cool. Obviously, don't do too much of this stuff because again, it does. I mean, when I say it burns into this thing, you can't notice it that much. But if you did it over an area with a lot of detail and texture, yeah, this could obviously burn it away and make it look, well, less textured. So that's the four horses, or the four horses of Apocalypse, which should be quite cool. Now to do their riders. And yeah, similar thing with the riders. It is a case of cutting them off the sprue, working out which, say, how you want them to be, whether you want them to be the lancers or have axes, shields, swords. Again, this is where it really is nice that they give you the option to do what you want. So you will find there's lots of bits left over. So I've got a good old bits box. So anything I do have left over, I put into that, because then when I come to do a different warband, if I feel I want to have lots more with, well, a certain weapon, I can get to a bits box, and yeah, the chances are I've got some leftover bits, which is pretty cool. So, and obviously kit bashing is definitely something you can do with these miniatures. I say very detailed, which I love, and say the money. Again, guys, I'm old, and I'm definitely one of these people that I like value for money. I don't want things necessarily to be cheap, because then you get that stage of you pay for what you get. But these definitely are value for money, because say the amount you get for the cost and the quality is just awesome. Plus the other thing, because I do speed paints, you want miniatures with lots of detail, because that's when speed paints look really, really good. If you painted a miniature that didn't have a lot of detail in it, then speed paints aren't going to help you out in making it look any better. So there we go. As you can see, yeah, I did originally do the lances, and then thought, no, these guys aren't jousting; they're going in for a proper ruck. So that's why I've given them sword and shields. And then it is a case of, well, rinse and repeat, doing the same for all the other sort of combinations there are in the warband. I say it's pretty cool because there's obviously archers, slingers, spearmen. There's guys in full armor, then guys in like no armor, and you can kit them out with the swords, shields. Again, I love it. This is where the big kid in me really does sort of shine. And so, especially that you can try and make them into sort of poses. So everyone that I did, I had a little thing in my head about what they were about to do. This is me just showing you my workplace injury. It's that good old case of when I was cleaning up the sprues. You should always use the blade away from your skin, never towards. But sometimes you just have to go towards yourself, because that's the only way you can get proper grip. And yeah, I slipped and got myself. So yeah, as you can see, lots of bits left over, which is great, because yeah, they are going to go into my bits box. So the bits box was just going to be Vikings, but a lot of the parts are just sort of generic looking. So yeah, I'm going to get, well, I'm going to sort my bits box out into one bit with just weapons, one with shields, and another one with, well, probably just heads. So you're seeing the Vikings. Yeah, I don't really like thick, clumpy bases. So for these, I've got these little sort of metal discs. They're 1 mm high, so they're not going to be sort of seen that much either. So by the time I get my my basing on these, then yeah, you're not really going to see them at all. But the other good thing at using the metal bases, it gives a bit more weight to the miniatures. Not that these things are going to fall over anyway, but it's just nice when you pick them up, they do have that little bit of weight to them. And this is definitely where I find doing all the miniatures in one go just saves so much time. As in, I've got all the discs ready, I've got my glue ready. Obviously, you're going to do some simple basing with these, and that simply is a little bit of sort of fine sand over the bottom, and then towards the end, you'll see I come and put a little bit of grass over the top. So it keeps it nice and simple, but decent in my eyes. Again, everything I'm doing, it's to get these guys tabletop ready. I'm not going out to win any awards with any of these dudes. Yeah, I just want these nice and playable, and looking good. You've seen my board, or certainly a few pictures of it here and there. It's coming along a treat. Absolutely love it. I've played on it twice now. I do have another game tonight actually, which is pretty cool. Um, and I keep saying that I will be showing you me building the board because it is now fully finished. And I say I've got a lot of terrain pieces and buildings and all the rest. So I will show you that very soon. So yeah, with the horses, going to do a similar sort of thing. The only sort of bases I could find were these, like kind of like dog tags, I guess. But these were as cheap as chips. There's a ton of them. Again, it's 1 millimeter thick because I wanted the same sort of thickness as the people, and I didn't want the actual base to be sort of too big. These seem just right. I think these are 25 by 50s, give or take. Might be 25 by 40. I'm not 100% sure. Can't remember. I've got a memory like a sieve, and yeah, I've slept since since doing this. So this video was ready to come out last week. Unfortunately, that's when I started getting the cold. So yeah, that's why it's a little bit delayed. Because these guys, obviously, I have played with these guys already. Well, I've had the 2 games, so yeah, these guys have been played definitely in those past 2 games. So the 36 Vikings I did in that last video, yeah, managed to get them done in just under sort of 3 hours, which I thought was just amazing. And this is where obviously doing things in batches certainly is a lot quicker. I had a comment on there saying, could I do this warband in under 2 hours? And it's like, well, I'll give it a go. And the thing I've got to make it even easier to sort of do is this. It's a tray to hold the miniature paint holders. And you'll see why this is just helps speed things up so much. Obviously, for one, it makes moving these units around so much easier. Because as you can see, I've done it so I get 12 on each. So in this case, obviously, I can use 3 of these. But yeah, the fact that I can have all the miniatures on just 3 of these trays makes moving them around so much easier. Holding them when I'm painting miniatures easier. And when it comes to sort of priming these miniatures, yeah, this speed things up no end. I'll let you know roughly how long it took me to paint everything at the end. So when I say 2 hours to do these miniatures, that doesn't include any of this setup time, any of the build time. It doesn't include the priming of the miniatures. It's just from when I start painting the miniatures. But this is where it's a lot quicker. So obviously each miniature was primed in black, and then I did some dry brushing from above. Ignore those 3 at the back. They were done early because I did a video on how to apply the Victrix shield decals. So that's why them 3 are being painted. So yeah, ignore them 3 for the moment. But yeah, so to do this, obviously they're all primed in black, and then I did the Zenithal highlighted from above, bit of sort of the priming with white above angle, with all the miniatures in their position. So again, rather than pick each miniature up and do anything, just sprayed it all from above, which again, it took literally seconds to do, well, as you can see, a dozen miniatures, instead of picking one up, doing it, putting it down, picking one up, doing it. So yeah, this this has just helped speed things up no end, especially as a batch painting. And as you can see here, obviously any miniatures that I can't get to whatever bits I'm trying to paint, then yeah, I'll take them off the tray and then paint them individually. But in the most part, where I can get to whatever bit it is, then yeah, I leave them on the tray. Obviously, this bit of footage is sped up just a little bit, but this is how quick and simple it is. So all the miniatures all together, get my one paint, paint them all in that one paint, then move on to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. So this is me just sort of showing for the bases, the colour I normally use, I started running out. So yes, I got that the cheap ink, and using that, and it works perfectly. That's the stuff that I use to make my own wash. But yeah, so these trays, I love it. Again, guys, I'm one of these people. I like to keep things simple because often simple is best. And then when it works, it's just yeah, it's amazing. It's just great. Say for this has really helped speed things up, especially because I've got the Russ Warband to do. And there is another warband I've got, which again, the name of them ones escaped me. But I know Victrix are bringing out more and more warbands, which is awesome. And yeah, the chances are I'm probably going to have a go at painting all the warbands. So having these trays to hold my miniature paint holders um, is just going to make things so much quicker, so much faster. Yeah, so who knows? Can I break 1 hour to do 32 miniatures? Yeah, I'm thinking not. There's no way I could do that. But yeah, so if you've got like an afternoon, you want to get your warband done, then yeah, do something like this. So 3D printers, absolutely love them, especially filament ones. Just so weird because I used to actually detest filament printers many moons ago because they were a right flaff sort of get out of the box to set up, put together, and then to use them. So many failures, so many errors, absolute nightmare. Whereas nowadays, yeah, they've all changed. They've all got a lot better, a lot easier. Obviously, set up, work straight away out of the box. Yeah, no issues. So with the horses, I'm going to paint all four that little bit different. And by that, I mean, yeah, they're all going to be brown, but just obviously different shades of brown. I'm not going to go nuts on doing sort of any kind of like cow-shaped designs on them, like the old sort of like black with white bits or anything like that. But yeah, just nice and brown. So for the main part, I use the same sort of colours on all of them, like the skin colour, a little bit of brown for their leather straps, and then silver for all metal bits. And then all the rest of it, like the tunics, the trousers, then yeah, I use a combination of those colours that I've just shown. I absolutely love how it's come out. And again, it's so quick and simple because you paint the same color on a variety of miniatures, then move to the next paint, do another variety with that, and then so on and so forth. So this is my homemade wash. Obviously, it's always a bit frothy because I just give it a good old stir, and it's got a bit of washing up liquid in there. And then it is just a case of going over. So obviously, any skin color, for the skin, I use a normal sort of paint. I think I use a Barbarian Flesh, the War Paint Fanatic range, and obviously the silver. Again, I just use a normal silver. So yeah, they do need a wash over them just to sort of well give them back some contrast and to make them look well not as nice and neat because I don't want these guys to look like their weapons have literally just come out of the armory. Yeah, I want these guys to look like things have been beaten, bruised, bashed, and definitely used. So again, yeah, keeping the basing simple. This is the same basing that I've been using on my board. So the plan is that when I do put the miniatures on the board, yeah, obviously it all ties in and just looks sort of natural together, which is pretty cool. And I kind of think it does. Yeah, absolutely love how it's all come out. Because say when I built the board, I had it in my mind that I wanted it to be obviously very playable, but I also wanted it to well, to look good for taking pictures with. So it's kind of like almost a diorama as well as a usable board. And I think that's kind of what I've achieved, which I'm really, really pleased about. But again, guys, there will be a video soon. I know I keep saying it. There will be a video. I've say the board's finished. I've taken all the footage. I just need to sit down, edit it all together, um, and then waffle over the top like I am here. Um, so yeah, it should be out in the next sort of week too. Obviously, again, if anyone new, I'm generally working on about 3 or 4 projects at once, just because I absolutely love what I'm doing. So yeah, when there's any downtime from one project, as in things are drying or printing or whatever, then yeah, I'm off working on something else. So yeah, I think they've come out really well, and yeah, I love them. Absolutely love them. I say it's great to see some horses involved in this. I do need to get more. Although I'm a bit gutted because Vikings don't use horses. I don't know why, but there you go. Maybe I can do a bit of home rules there and sneak some Vikings on horses just because I like the look of them. But yeah, as you can see, so the bases, yeah, being nice and thin, they do blend in really, really well. And hopefully you can't see them too much when they're on the board. Obviously, the numbers at the bottom, yeah, so to make it easier for me and my mate or me and my son, when we come to play the game, I've written the value of them underneath. Right, so these are these are 3D printed little things I put for the bases. I don't know if you saw the Viking video when I sort of spoke about me and my son played a game At some point, somehow, I got confused, and one of my players actually started fighting another one of my characters because I didn't realize it was mine. So I killed one of my own off because sometimes some of the figures do look very similar. So that's why they've got these little rings at the bottom now, just to distinguish. So I think it's red and blue. I was going to do the more sort of earthy colours like brown and that, but literally I printed these out on FDM, so these are the colours I had. Plus, again, it helps them stand out real easy for me and whoever's playing the game to be able to tell, well, whose miniature is whose. So obviously, when I'm taking pictures of the miniatures when they're just painted, um, and I want them to blend in with the background and everything else, then I won't put the rings on. But when I'm playing a game, yeah, these little rings are going to come out just to make it so much easier to play the game and who's on your side. Especially as obviously this game can be played with four, so I'm excited to have a go at doing that. So again, that's the reason why I'll get some more war bands painted. Well, just so I can have four players playing this, and then you'll definitely need to have these rings at the bottom, because I think otherwise, yeah, you won't know who's who you're fighting, and who's even on your team. But guys, obviously, as you can see, yeah, this is my board. The game I'm going to be playing tonight is, I think it's scene 4. They're called scenes. I forgot what it's called now, but I think it's the one where obviously the Vikings coming in on their longship and ransacking the village for loot. So that's why there's the cathedral in the back. So as you can see, yeah, we're making a lot of sort of walls and hedges. There's obviously quite a lot of buildings. I'm also going to be printing out more castle bits. So I do like the idea of there being a castle under attack. Obviously, I've got lots of little bits here to sort of pillage and loot as well. So yeah, I think I've had this thing now about 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. Absolutely got hooked on it from the outset. Yeah, there will be a video coming out doing the longship as well as other videos showing, well, other bits and pieces. Right, so time taken. The challenge was to get these all painted in under 2 hours. No, I didn't get them done in under 2 hours. It wasn't far off. I mean, it's about 2 hours, sort of 15 minutes-ish. So yeah, really pleased with that. Okay, guys, like, share, subscribe, leave comments. Let me know what you want to see in the future. You guys take care. Oh, video coming up on the screen. Give that a click to see more of what I do. Okay, guys, take care. Bye now.